welcome back to a brand new Armory 3D basic tutorial. Now today I want to talk about some logic nodes that are basically decision making nodes that are going to take some information that you give it and it's going to make a decision based on that information. So what we're going to do is press Shift A and open up the logic node tab, and we can go to the right top where it says logic, and this is where we're going to find all our decision making nodes. For instance, if there are any Python users, you might recognize the gate node to be a sort of if and else function in Python. Now all programming languages have a sort of system set up like this. I'm not too accustomed to programming languages in general, so I don't really know them. But here we have an input, for example, on initialize, which is as soon as the program opens, like I told you in my first episode on the inputs. It's going to do something. It's going to make a decision based on two different types of information that you put in, and the decision it's going to make currently is checking if those two pieces of information that you feed into the node is equal to each other, and if so, it's going to tell you that it's true, and if it is true, then it's going to do something, or if it's false, it's going to do something as well. You could actually leave one of these blank and just focus on one, because the other one doesn't need to have anything if you don't want anything to happen if it's false or true. But we can also change this node to be for example, if they are equal or greater, or just greater. For example, if you want to find out the new high score, if you want to find out if the score of your game is a high score or is it just an average score that isn't important, you can use this node to figure out whether you want to save it or not. Now this is something that I will incorporate in a future tutorial if that interests you. Now, following along with that logic, I have another node which is just above the gate node, which is called branch. Now branch is like on a tree where there are multiple ways that the branch can grow. It can grow on the right side or it can grow on the left side, and that's basically the idea. Basically we have the same thing. We have an input, for example, on update, which is another input system, and we have a condition, a boolean, and basically it's going to do the same thing. It's going to check if this is true, and if it is, it's going to do something, or it's not going to do something, etc. For example, what we could use is we could look for a mobile, and it's going to detect the mobile browser, and you plug the pink socket into the pink socket, and so as soon as every single frame, the program is going to send out an information to ask if the browser is a mobile browser, and if it is, it's going to do something, or it's not going to do something, whatever you want to do. And that's just a way to use booleans as an if or else statement in Armory 3D. Now before we continue talking about Armory 3D basic nodes that you can use to implement logic and conditions, I just want to take a quick break and talk about my new shorts channel. Now this has been going for about a month, and I have so far about 16 videos on that channel. It's basically video game ideas. I'm trying to inspire new creators and creators who have creative block to be able to overcome that and find inspiration to make a specific game that hopefully hasn't been made before. All the ideas in my videos are ideas that I don't know of, as in that hopefully don't exist yet, and that is the general idea of this shorts channel, to inspire people to make new and improved content. So hopefully you can go and have a look and find something to help you get inspired making your new Armory 3D project, or any other project you want. Another great node to use is called the merge node. Now if we have a situation for like this, where I have two different keyboard inputs that I want to map to the same action. So I have two input systems but only one action. Instead of duplicating the action, since I can't just plug two inputs into the same action, we can actually go ahead and grab here the merge node. Now here we have a bunch of functions for the merge node, which essentially are, well, creating new inputs. We can create two new inputs because we have two nodes that we want to input into this merge, and we also have an option to do it every single frame. But since we're using an input system which is going to trigger an event, the event being the action of moving the object, we only need to set it once per input. And so we can plug this between here, and now we can plug in our two different keyboard inputs, and that's going to be able to generate this, well, to do this action. So as soon as one of these inputs are triggered, it's going to do the action, instead of needing to duplicate this action for these two different inputs. And it basically just saves on code, and it's very practical, and it like cleans up your UI and makes it much more readable, and it's a great way to do a lot of other things as well, which I'm not going to go into detail right now. But a very useful node as well is a node that allows you to do an action repeated every single frame. Now we've looked at the onUpdate node, but there's another node here in the logic tab called the once per frame, and this is going to allow you to do an action every single frame that you wouldn't be able to do with the just update node, which is very practical. Now I don't have any example offhand right now, but I'm sure you'll find a use for this node to do an action every single frame. We also have some nodes right here to test if a condition can be true, and also one to test if it is false. And basically the boolean here is a condition. For example, if we go ahead and to the canvas area and grab the on canvas checkbox, if the checkbox is checked and it is true, it is checked, it's going to do something. For example, set sound quality to 0, for example. And same thing applies to the false. If it's verified to not be true, as in if it is unchecked, it's going to set the sound quality to 100%. Just an example. Now there is a node that I really want to tell you about, and that's the alternate output node. Basically, if I plug into an onUpdate, then every single frame it's going to alternate between output number 1 and output number 2. So for example, if I hook this up to an animation, an action, for example, set object scale, it's going to alternate between these two every single frame. So for example, I set this one to 250 and this one to 1. Every single frame will switch it from 0, as in 250 for the object scale, and then it's going to switch it on the next frame to be scale number 1, and it's going to alternate between these two outputs. I just find that to be a very useful node. And while we're talking about switching output, now that we're talking about randomizing things, we can also go to the random section and we can grab the random output. And as you can see, if we plug it into the onInitialize node, as soon as the program starts up, this node is going to execute, and it's going to look down here and find the random output. And if we add a couple of outputs to this, you'll notice that it's going to randomize whatever the output will be. So for example, you can use this for changing the light color. For example, if I grab the light and set light color, we can change the light color to be one time when you open the game, the light color will be white, for example, and then if you close the game and reopen it, there's a 50% chance that it will be blue. And that's just a very useful way to just randomize some values in your game to get some nice procedural generation instead of having everything handmade. As you can see, there are many more logic nodes that you can use here. I'm not going to go over most of them because I myself do not use them and do not really know how to explain them very well, or in some cases don't know what they do at all. So if you're good at that, then you can go have a look and check them out. If not, then you can just stick to the ones I explained, and you'll be able to make most games without needing to know any of these other nodes here. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and can take something away and have learned something. Okay, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope there are lots of things that you've learned. If you have, then make sure you like the video so lots more people can see this and find this video. If you also want to find a way to implement this but you're not sure how, then click that subscribe button, because I'm going to be making a lot more video tutorials about how to make specific games, such as the Flappy Birds, which is coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that. And I'll show you how to implement all these different nodes into functions and mechanics inside of games using Armory 3D. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and have a good day. So until then, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.